Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the first crowdfunding roundup for the month of October, and in today's video I will be recommending my picks from everything that launched between September the 27th and October the 3rd. Now, it's a smaller week this week. I only have 4 campaigns to share with you today, and they all happen to be for expansions. So there aren't any campaigns today that are base games. These are all expansion campaigns. I have links to all the campaigns down in the description section, and the video is tabbed, so you can find the content that you're specifically looking for and go right to that. The best way to support this channel at this point in time is still to like and subscribe, and I will be launching live streaming games and relaunching my teach and review content hopefully before the end of the year. So even if you're not that into crowdfunding, you still may want to like and subscribe so that you'll get notifications when that type of content launches later in the year. Without any further ado, let's get started on the 4 campaigns that I have to share with you today. The first of these is for the Shivers expansion's Triple Terror. Now, this project has $148,000 in their coffers right now. That's of a $35,000 funding goal. That's about a 4-time multiplier. And as we can see down here, this campaign is going to run until November the 1st. Now, as I said at the top, everything today are expansion campaigns. But the Shivers, the original base game, was delivered in 2022, last year. It was designed by Andy Logan. It had art by William Tiller, and it was published by Pop Fiction Games. And that was a first for everyone involved: artist, designer, publisher. And generally I tell people to be more wary when you're dealing with campaigns where everything's a first, because they haven't done this before. But in this case, they delivered it very successfully. People seem to really like it, and they are back, not reinventing the wheel, not doing something different, but just doing more of what they did the first time. So I think there's a little bit less risk involved than in, a lot of entities who are doing something like this for the second time, because they're, for the most part, repeating what they've done before. Now, the base game, if we wanted to go take a look at it, and I think it's always a good idea to do that if, the game already exists and it's out there in the wild and people have been playing it and there's ratings and things like that. So you can get a better look at, kind of what's going on with the game than during an initial Kickstarter when you don't really know that much about it. So the Shivers over on Board Game Geek has a rating of 7.1, which is okay, and it's got a complexity of 1.8, which is very, very light. It is a light game. And the reason perhaps for the score being so low is that this is a very, very simple light game, and it's possible that some people that were looking forward to this for the theme and the components started to play it and realized it's just not complex enough for them. So there's a possibility that score could be lower just because the game is so simple. Now, it's a tile placement game. It's adventure and horror themed, and it's got storytelling as one of the main mechanics. But what really makes this unique is that you're dealing with 3D environments, kind of like a pop-up book. And so you're going to be taking characters through rooms and exploring the rooms. Now, I did a little bit of legwork ahead of time because this is a game that was largely printed for its Kickstarter run. So there weren't a lot of copies that went into retail. However, Miniature Market does have copies available right now for $75. You can also get copies on Amazon for $100. You'll see later as we talk about this that you will be able to get the core game through this campaign for $92, including shipping. So that's actually cheaper than Amazon, and it's a little bit more money than Miniature Market. Also, Miniature Market, if you order it from them, they'll just deliver it right now, whereas if you pledge this campaign, even just for the base game, it's going to come in December 2023. So it's going to take a couple months. If you back it for the expansions, the new stuff, you won't be getting your pledge until March of 2025. So that is, a year and a half out. But if you are backing the campaign just for the base game, it'll come to you in December 2023. So Miniature Market probably would be your best option for the base game. And that's assuming that maybe you're going to order another game or two with it to get you over that minimum shipping rate, which I think it's $99. And if you are over that amount, you'll get free shipping. So in that case, Miniature Market would be your best deal. But if you're not looking to get it immediately, or if you want more content, including the new content, then you will be wanting to pledge this. So we're going to take a look at the video here, and then we will go over I believe it's 3 pledges and some add-ons.
We're back with 3 haunting new expansions for the Shivers pop-up mystery adventure. These expansions will feature 12 chilling new episodes, fiendish new foes, devious puzzles, and mind-blowing new pop-up rooms. First, the Deadly Dungeon, complete with working guillotine. Watch those fingers. Next, the Ominous Observatory, filled with astronomical tools to spot strange objects in the skies over Fogmore. Look out! Finally, our biggest room yet, the Fogmore Museum. It's 4 times the size of our other rooms and filled with unusual exhibits. Watch out, that dino gets hungry at night. But wait, are we crazy enough to also include this astounding pop-up facade of Fogmore Manor? Yes we are. You'll enjoy exploring its towers, turrets, and terrors. So if you're already enjoying the Shivers, you'll definitely want to add these expansions to your game shelf. If this is your first time hearing about our game, there are pledge tiers below to start you on your journey. Whether you're a family of new gamers or grizzled RPG veterans, you'll enjoy this cooperative game that features hidden clues, clever puzzles, and our unique interactive pop-up rooms. 3 years ago, almost 7,000 backers helped us make our Kickstarter debut a smash hit, raising nearly $600,000 to bring the Shivers to life. Since then, we've been dreaming up new ways to delve deeper into this magical and mysterious world. But we need your support to make this dream a reality. So pledge now to help us expand the Shiververse.
All right, let's take a look at these pledges here. So the first one is for the Shivers core game, and this is the one that I mentioned that if you do pledge just this, you'll be getting it in December 2023. It's limited to 200 copies, but as of right now, they still have 155 copies left, so plenty in the bank. And again, this campaign runs until November the 1st. So the price for the Shivers core game is $65, and as I talk about shipping throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about shipping for the continental US. So if you're anywhere else, you'll want to check out the shipping in your area. Now, if you're in the continental US, the shipping for the core game is $27, which brings your total pledge to $92. You can also pledge Triple Terror, 3 new expansions, and Facade. And these are all the new items in this campaign. It's an $85 pledge, $27 in shipping, $112 total. The final pledge level here is all in on the Shiververse, and this is going to include the base game, along with all the new stuff, but it's also going to include the 2 previous expansions that were part of the original Kickstarter campaign, and those aren't included in that top pledge of just the core game. So this pledge is $175, $27 in shipping, for a total of $202. And let's just take a quick scroll down the left so that you can get a better look at some of this kind of pop-up book setting, which I think it's so cool, right? No one's really done this before, and it's really, really unique. Okay, here they go over just the various pledges, and that's that first pledge there. It gives you a look at what's in that base game. And You see, the game comes with some of these dry erase markers and magnifying glasses, but you can get more in the add-ons. And that's where we're headed, is down to the add-ons to see the extra things that are available. Okay. Lots of videos for you to watch if you want to see some more of the game. Okay, so here are the add-ons. You can get this pack of expansions. This is both of the expansions from the original Kickstarter. They're bundled together, so you can get these together for $35. If you want a magnifying glass 4-pack, more magnifying glasses, that is a $5 add-on. You can also get a 4-pack of dry erase markers for $5. And you can also get a dice pack of 3 dice for $5. But these are all in the original in the game, so you shouldn't need these, but if you want extra dice, you can get more for $5. There's also some magnifying glasses and dry erase markers in the base game, but if you want extras, if you're worried about the magnifying glasses breaking or maybe not having enough for all the players, you can get extras. And dry erase markers, you just may want more because these are going to eventually run out. There's also a velvet bag for $10. A Shivers gaming candle for $25, so this is obviously not related to gameplay. There is a dog and cat character pack for $5, and a create a character pack for $5. And as we've mentioned previously, the campaign in all its entirety will deliver in March of 2025. Okay, that brings us to Deep Rock Galactic, Space Rig, and Biome expansions. And this is the richest campaign of the video, currently at $1.7 million. It also has the biggest multiplier. It's at about 8 times right now. And this campaign, they had a funding goal of $209,000. This is very well funded at this point, and the campaign is going to run until October the 16th. Now, the base game for this came out in 2022. And if we want to go and take a look over at that on Board Game Geek, we can do that. It's done pretty well. It has a pretty good reception. It has a rating right now of 8.5, which is pretty darn high. And the complexity is weighted at a 2.77. I generally say that anything over a 2.55 is in the medium-heavy range. So that's where you're at with that. The designer here is Ole Steinus, who you may know from Champions of Midgard and Meeples and Monsters. The 2 artists on the base game are Rasmus Berggren and Jonas Springborg. I know Jonas Springborg is back for the expansions, and he's worked on Star Wars Outer Rim. Now, it was published by Mood Publishing, and just as with the Shivers, when they made this game originally, it was pretty much a first for everyone. Ole Steinus has designed a couple of other games, but the artists were new and the publisher was new. Now they have another game they're working on, Mood Publishing, called Battle of Gods, and I believe that's also being designed by Ole Steinus and also has art by Jonas Springborg. So this game is a cooperative dungeon crawler, but it's set in space, and it's got dice rolling and miniatures, and it is based on the pretty popular video game. So what I'd like to do is take a look at this video, and then we will go over the 8 pledges and some additional add-ons.
It's time to suit up.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The Deep Rock Galactic board game is getting 2 new expansions, full of exciting new biomes for you to mine and brand new missions to undertake. So get in your gear and venture into the unknown.
Did I hear a rocking stone?
Assist and defend the drill dozer when going for the priceless Omeran Heartstone.
We gotta protect the Retta!
Set up pipelines and keep those refineries pumping to get the sweet liquid morkite flowing.
Objects here.
Mine the smaller caves for unique loot.
Love it.
Just stay clear of the erupting volcanoes in the magma caves. Put on your dancing shoes and enjoy the neon plants in the Assure Weald.
That's pretty.
Remember your coat. When venturing into the glacial strata, just don't slip.
I can't feel my fear.
And don't inhale those toxic fungus spores. If you expect a cozy vacation, you better think twice.
This is a big one.
The terrifying dreadnought is lurking down there, so bring your A
Shoot it
game.
in the ass.
The caves are crawling with disgusting new beasts, like the Nadocyte breeder,
Watch
the
out!
Nadocyte hatchlings, and the Corona shellback. Not to mention the recently discovered glyphids, the Stingtail, and the Rammer. Back home on the space rig, you can plan your next step on your road to getting rich.
Very nice.
Take on larger Deep Rock Galactic assignments,
The hunt for gold continues.
and gear up, as you can expect fierce resistance on every step.
Duty calls.
Complete unique mission challenges.
For teamwork.
Unlock permanent upgrades through the game,
Time to go dig some holes.
and round off your day at the Abyss Bar for a drink.
Last one to rock and stone pays for the first round.
So, dwarves, are you ready for some action? It's time to expand, miners. Get yours today. Live at Kickstarter.
And if it wasn't completely clear from the video, we could go over here. I think it should have the expansions listed. Okay, so here we go. Biome and Space Rig. These are the two new ones with this campaign. So they say here that Biome includes a new region below the surface of Hox's 4 with 4 new biomes to explore, valuable minerals, new environmental challenges, biological hazards, and a bunch of new creatures. Whereas the Space Rig expansion, get ready for new upgrades and a host of new missions chained together as assignments. On the orbital space platform, blah, blah, blah. You can prepare for new missions by visiting the Abyss Bar and study the details of the new mission types. New challenges in the form of anomalies and warnings will make missions progressively harder, but fear not, as your dwarves will advance too with the latest and greatest gear. So that's kind of a look at how they're going to improve and change gameplay with the 2 new expansions. All right, now if we scroll down, there are a lot of combinations of expansions and the base game and the pledges. So if you just want the Space Rig expansion, this is an $84 pledge, $23 in shipping, $107 total. Same price, same deal if you just want the Biome expansion. If you're pledging at this newcomer pledge, this is a $131 pledge, $40 in shipping, $171 total. And this will get you the base game, the deluxe base game, with 4 art prints. So this does not include either of the new expansions. It is just the base game. You can pledge Space Rig and Biome expansions. This is just what it sounds. It combines the 2 expansions that are new to this Kickstarter campaign. This is a $147 pledge, $36 in shipping, $183 total. Then we get to the expansion bundle. Now, this includes the 2 new expansions and then the 2 expansions that were available in the original campaign. So this is the Corlock Tyrant Weed and the Bulk Detonator. These are, smaller than the new expansions, but there's no base game in this bundle. These are just expansions only. They also don't list a shipping estimate for this pledge price, so I'm just going to have to guesstimate a shipping estimate for you. So this is a $199 pledge. We're just going to assume like $43 in shipping, $42 in shipping for a total pledge price of $240. Now, if you go to the collector's choice, this is a $246 pledge, $53 in shipping, $299 total. So this one includes everything that was in the previous pledge. We've got both of the new expansions, we've got both of the older expansions, and then we've got a lot of extras. And these extras are not in most of the pledges, but most of these extras can be added on if you're pledging a different pledge and you want some of these extras. So the things that they're adding on here, they've got a Kickstarter exclusive Dwarf Mini. You can see this right here. 4 coasters, drink coasters, a dice tray, a missions book, plastic tokens for the expansions, and STL files for all of the minis, so you can print out your own versions at home if that's what you want to do. Now, if we move up to the next pledge, we've got the Newcomer Space Rig and Biome expansions. This is a $252 pledge, and this is the other pledge that they did not include a shipping estimate for, so I'm just going to guess around $55 based on the other pledges, which will bring the total pledge price to $307. So this one is including the base game and the 4 art prints, the same as the Newcomer pledge, and then it's combining it with essentially the both expansions pledge. So you're going to be getting the base game, the 4 art prints, and both of the new expansions in this pledge. You're not getting the 2 smaller expansions from the original Kickstarter, and you're not getting all of those extras that were mentioned in the previous pledge level. But if we go to the final pledge here, the Newcomer Collector's Choice, this adds all the extras back in. So this gets you essentially everything. You've got the base game, the 2 new expansions, the 2 smaller expansions, and then all of the extras, plus a 3rd expansion called Goo from Above, that's not included with any of the other expansions. This is a $346 pledge, $74 in shipping for $420 total. And you will be getting the 4 art prints with this one as well. Now, if we want to take a look at the add-ons, we're going to go through some of these pledges again over here on the left, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. We've got the 2 new expansions there. And we've got the various pledges here, 1 for each expansion, 1 for the combined 2 expansions, 1 for the expansion bundle with the 2 previous expansions. Then you've got your collector's choice here, the 2 new expansions with the 2 old expansions, and some extras here, the mixed missions pack, the beer coasters, the dice tray, the STL files, the plastic tokens. And then we get into the other stuff that includes the base game. So those are all of those pledges. I don't want to take too much time looking at everything, but that is the Kickstarter exclusive mini that you'll be getting in a lot of these pledges. And then you've got, they're kind of breaking down the contents for these new expansions here. Okay, but let's go past all of this and let's get to the add-on prices. Here we go. So you can add on any of these things to any of the pledges. 4 coasters, drinking coasters for $16. Dice tray for a fairly expensive price here of $27. The bulk detonator, this is one of those expansions from the original Kickstarter, $32 as an add-on. And the same price for that other smaller expansion, the Corlock Tyrant Weed, also $32. You can buy this 8 mixed missions pack for $16. The STL files for all the miniatures for $22. The plastic tokens for the expansions for $27. This is included in a lot of the pledges that we were looking at, but these things are not. So if you want sleeves, you'll have to add these on. There's a pack of 180 sleeves, which will sleeve everything. And then there is a pack of 50 sleeves. This is about $2. Then we've got the deluxe base game, 2nd edition, new edition, $134 as an add-on. The neoprene game map, $27 as an add-on, and this is something that I believe you'll have to add on. It's not included with any of the pledges. And then you've got base game plastic tokens here, $28, and an extra dice set if you want more dice for multiple players, so you're not having to share the same dice. $14 for those. And then that Goo from Above, this is the expansion that's not included in any of the pledge levels except the most expensive one right here. This is $32 for this expansion, and then they just list the shipping prices here. And Deep Rock Galactic, the 2 new expansions and anything else that you pledge for in this campaign, are set to deliver in September of 2024. That brings us to our 3rd campaign of the week, Merchants of Magick, Dangerous Business, and Draught of Dragons. This campaign launched on October the 3rd. I should mention that the first campaign that I went over, the Shivers, launched September 27th. Deep Rock Galactic launched September the 28th. And then this one and the next one were October the 3rd launches. So we can see that this has a funding goal of $20,000. They are already funded at $33,000, and the campaign is going to run until October the 27th. We've got a design here on Merchants of Magic from Clarence Simpson. He also designed a Pandasaurus Games game called The Wolves that came out last year. And the art on this is by T.L. Simons, who's worked on the Block by Block series, as well as a game that I talked about last week, which is currently on crowdfunding called Defenders of the Wild. And it's being published by Rock Manor Games. They're probably best known for The Few and the Cursed, Lawyer Up, Maximum Apocalypse, and the Set a Watch series. Now, the Set a Watch games were designed by Mike Nade, and they are these tower defense games where you've got a group of adventurers, you're sitting around the campfire at night, and you need to make it through to morning as various monsters onslaught you during the evening, come to the fire. You need to fight them off. So that is the series that this is set in, but this is a different designer and a different artist working on this than in the original Set a Watch game and its expansions. And what they've done is they've taken that world and they've made it into a roll and write game. So this is a roll and write game that can be played up to 8 players. And again, we're in a situation here where the base game came out, it's already delivered, and they're coming back for expansions. So if you want to take a look at this on Board Game Geek, the base game, you can. So it delivered in 2021. It's got a rating of 7.5, which is pretty good, and it's got a weight of 2.0, which is light. You know, I tend to say that anything like a 2.01 and above is a medium light game. So this is right on that line between light and medium light. But I think, you know, roll and write games generally are very, very simple. There's not a lot going on mechanically. They're a lot of fun. There's often still good choices to be made, but there's not a lot of complexity to roll and write games. I think that makes them an ideal game to teach to people when you're, you know, dealing with non-gamers or people that don't game as much, and also for larger groups, because as you can see over here, this can play up to 8 players, although the community says that it's best keeping it at 6 or below. So we're going to take a look at the video here for Merchants of Magic, and then we will take a look at the, I think, 5 pledges for this one, but there are no add-ons.
Welcome, weary traveler. Please step into my shop. You'll find a myriad of items for your adventures here. Weapons, armor, and various accessories, all with personalized enhancements and affiliations, and at great prices too. No, don't venture to the store next door. I have just the thing for you. Welcome to Merchants of Magic, a crunchy roll and write game where you play as merchants seeking to earn the most coin by crafting enchanted items and selling your wares to customers. Each round, you must choose 2 dice results to spend, marking them on your player sheet to craft items and research spells. Customers are fickle and impatient and will move on to the next stop if you don't have what they're looking for. But shopkeeping isn't always so simple. Introducing Dangerous Business and Draught of the Dragons, 2 brand new collections of modular expansions. Monsters are at the gates, and each merchant hopes to equip their sponsored adventurer with enough gear to fend off the incoming horde. As you craft new items, your adventurer's prowess in battle grows. Once your adventurer is powerful enough, you can defeat these creatures, setting up powerful combos. Draught of the Dragons adds a new game phase with additional actions. Brew more potions, advertise to a central pool of customers, steal them from your competitors, or grab potion recipes offering new potent abilities. Are you both a skilled craftsman and a shrewd enough business person to take on this dangerous business? Merchants of Magic, now on Kickstarter.
You know, it's kind of funny. I feel like they have added on enough additional content, and you can see some of those components, like that side sheet that has the dials on it and all of the extra cards. It feels like they're actually bringing it almost out of being a roll and write because there's so much other stuff added in. But I like roll and writes, and I like the additional components and complexity that they seem to be adding on with these expansions. And I also think, I've seen this before where you've got merchants dealing with parties of adventurers and you're trying to sell them goods. There's a bunch of games that do that, like Merchant's Cove, and I think a few of the other maybe Thundergriff games set in the role-player world. But I don't think I've seen one that's done it as a roll and write, which just feels like it's the ideal, kind of game mechanic, game genre to be playing these merchants that are trying to satisfy the adventurers. So I'm really kind of interested in this one. And Rock Manor Games has just been putting out pretty solid games for a while now, but they haven't, I think, achieved a certain level of success that other publishers have, but I think their time is coming. Like, it's going to be very soon. Connor McGoey's company Inside Up Games just had a huge success with Earth last year, and I think Rock Manor just needs a breakout hit kind of like that to put themselves on the map. Okay, let's take a look at these 5 pledges here. And another thing is, because this is a roll and write, it's not a game or a campaign that's going to break the bank. So there's definitely good gameplay choices to be had here for something that's a little more affordable than some crowdfunding games. So we've got the first new expansion here, Dangerous Business, $19, $8 in shipping, $27 total. It's kind of like Deep Rock Galactic, where you've got the second expansion, same price, same shipping. So Draught of the Dragons is also available for $19 or with shipping $27. Then we get to this pledge level. This is for the base game. So this is Merchants of Magick. It's a $29 pledge, $8 in shipping, $37 total. And then as we go forward here, we're going to start to bundle things together. So this bundle here, all the new stuff is just the 2 new expansions together. It's $36 with $10 in shipping. That is $46 total. And if you were going to pledge those 2 expansions separately, it would be $54. So this is an $8 savings off of getting them separately. And then finally, we've got the complete shop bundle. This is the base game with those 2 new expansions, $65, $12 shipping, $77 total. Finally, Merchants of Magick is going to deliver in October of 2024, about a year from the time this campaign is running, and there are no add-ons over here. So there's nothing to add on. You just need to decide what you want and pledge for those things. It's not like some of the other campaigns that we were looking at where there are extra things that you can kind of add on. You just need to decide whether you want the base game and either or both expansions or what. And that brings us to our final campaign of the week. This is the Night Cage Shrieking Hollow, and this is our 4th expansion campaign. Now, this campaign also launched on October the 3rd, and they had a funding goal of $20,000. They're currently at $112,000, so they're very well funded, and this campaign is going to run until October the 19th. Now, the Night Cage is a cooperative game. It is a horror-themed maze, and it uses mechanics like grid movement and tile placement, and there's even a sudden death ending. There are 3 designers that worked on the original game. One of those designers is also the artist, Christopher Ryan Chan, and similarly to a lot of the other campaigns that we've been talking about today, when they ran that campaign, it was a first for pretty much everyone involved. Smirk and Laughter, which is the publisher and is a subsidiary of Smirk and Dagger Games, they have published a few other things in the past, but nothing that's like a huge breakout hit that probably everybody knows. So this campaign is for Shrieking Hollow. It adds a new threat to the game and a new space to explore. Before we watch the video, let's just quickly take a look at the base game over on Board Game Geek, since we can. So the base game delivered in 2021. It's got a 7.1 rating, and it's got, again, a fairly low complexity of 2.05, so that is just over the hump into medium light from light. And this has a player count of 1 to 5, but the community seems to think it tops out best at 4 players. So let's check out this video, and then we'll go over the, I think it's 4 pledges, and there's a few add-ons.
You awake in the dark. Your skin cold, your mind blank. You have nothing but your fear, your candle, and a question: what truly lurks in the depths of this darkness? Shrieks rise up from the hollow, a grieving multitude speaking a single voice. And suddenly you know that the only thing separating you from them is a single flickering flame. Welcome to Shrieking Hollow, an expansion to the best-selling horror board game, The Night Cage. As before, 1 to 5 players must navigate a formless maze of eternal darkness, with nothing but a dim candle to help them escape. New pathways are illuminated by your light, while old ones disappear forever. But the confines of the Night Cage delve deeper than before. Now the labyrinth's numerous pits open into a mysterious chasm known as the Hollow. There, its terrifying denizen, the Other, waits to ascend, lunging forward each time a pit forms on the main board. Within the Hollow, the flickering light of your candle will hold the Other back until shrieks ring out in the darkness and nothing can stop its advance. Still, you must try, for once it escapes, the Other will smother everything in its path beneath a wave of destruction and despair. How long will your light last?
It definitely has an art style that you don't see too much. It makes it stand out, and really does a lot with that kind of black and white art style. Spooky art, spooky gameplay. Okay, so here are rewards for this one. We've got New Terrors, which is just the new expansion, $25, $12 in shipping, $37 total. Then we've got Rising Terror, which is the deluxe version of the new expansion. $55, $14 shipping, $69 total. What this adds that you won't get in the standard version is acrylic tiles and a neoprene mat. Then if we go to the next pledge up, it's called For the Newly Imprisoned. So this is for someone that doesn't have the base game. It includes the base game and the new expansion, but it's just the standard version. So no acrylic tiles, no neoprene mats. $65, $16 in shipping, $81 in total. And then the final pledge here is for deluxe for both the base game and the expansion. So this is a $145 pledge, $20 in shipping, $165 total. So with this pledge, you're going to be getting more acrylic tiles. You'll be getting acrylic tiles for the base game as well as for the expansion. You'll also be getting a second neoprene mat, a bigger mat for the base game as well as the smaller neoprene mat for the expansion. And then you'll also be getting metal figures and metal keys. And those are also available as add-ons. So if we go over here on the left side and we scroll past all of this stuff, here we go. So you can add on those unique prisoner metal minis. These are included in the deluxe version of the base game, but you can add them on for $20. You can also add on the double-sided neoprene playmat that comes with the deluxe version of the base game. You can add this on for $25. And this is the neoprene mat that comes with the deluxe version of the new expansion. This is an add-on for $15. And then the Night Cage, the new expansion here, Shrieking Hollow, is going to deliver in May of 2024. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for spending some time with me. And as I get going, live streaming games and relaunching my Teach and Review series, I want to know what my audience wants me to be focusing on. And so every video from now on, I'm just going to be talking briefly about the games that arrived into my collection, and then you can let me know in the comments if you want to see any videos on those games, either teach and reviews or live streams of the game itself. The only game that I received this period is Voidfall. It is the new 4X game from Mindclash, who is one of my favorite publishers. They did Anachrony, Tricarian, Perseverance, Castaway Chronicles, and this newest game is a 4X. It's designed by David Turksey and Nigel Buckle, and they've worked on a bunch of games together. David Turksey also does solo modes for almost every game known to man. But the game that I know the best that they've worked on together is the Imperium series, Imperium Classics and Imperium Legends, and there's another one coming, I think, next year called Imperium Horizons. But those are really amazing deck-building civilization games, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they did in a 4X game, and with the component and production value of Mind Clash, which is top notch. And then I'm actually going to be going out of town next week for Kristen's birthday, so I won't be posting a video next week at the regular time. Instead, that video will go up the following week at the beginning of the week, Monday or Tuesday, and then the video for that week will go up at the end of the week as usual. So next week, nothing. The following week, 2 videos. And the video, the first of those videos with the stuff that is launching over the next week, I know probably 2 games that will be included in that video. One of them is Wish, which I don't know too much about, but I know that it has art by the Micho. And the other one is 2 new games from Reiner Knizia. They're being published by Bitewing Games, Cascadero and Cascadito, and they have art by Ian O'Toole, who's one of my favorite artists of all time. Just amazing graphic design and artwork. He does a lot of the Vital Lacerda games. And also with that campaign, they're going to be offering Zoo Vadis. So they did a campaign a couple of years ago for Trailblazers and Zoo Vadis, I believe. And then like a month ago, they did a new campaign for Trailblazers expansions, as well as a new game from Ryan Courtney called Spectral, which is a deduction game, which is new for him. And so now they're coming back doing a new campaign for more Reiner Knizia games, so they're giving people a second chance to get Zoo Vadis. And it's not my type of game normally, but I watched a video with Monique and Naveen from Before You Play, and I'm so excited about Zoo Vadis now after watching that video that I may pledge that one through the new campaign, even though it's not normally my type of game. So have a great couple of weeks while I'm gone, play lots of great games, and I'll see you soon in the next one.